Hey guys, welcome in. Just getting warmed up a little bit here. How's everybody doing this evening? Chattered up there on the end of it. Jimmy, good evening. Just trying to kind of get a sharp edge to start off of here and do a little bit of punch work. There it went. That's a tough piece of rock for sure. All I'm trying to do right here is just get like a sharper working edge. Now, I know we're a little bit closer in on the camera angle this evening. I was trying to get to where I can, I missed your comment, I'm sorry. What's something? I'm sorry about that. I was messing with something else and didn't see it, sorry. If you don't mind, if I've got a moderator in here that could repin it, but if not, if you would repost it. Oh, sorry, Big Wheeler. I just didn't want to miss anybody's comment. Sorry that you're feeling bad this evening. So, yeah, I got on a little bit earlier than I was planning on, but I think I'm gonna probably get off here and call it an evening early. But I needed to work on some more of these Folsom preforms. On Friday we're gonna flute a bunch of them, so, or at least as many as I can get done. So far I've got these three set up pretty well for the first flute. Kind of got the platforms already set, and Friday that's what we're gonna do all day. Yep, Friday morning, that's hopefully I'll have enough of them where we're just gonna flute the first side and then go back and set them up and flute the second side if I've got enough time. This is a tough piece of rock right here. Thank you, Todd. Yeah, they're coming together pretty nice. Each of them have got a little bit of an issue, you know. This one's got a little bit of a sway or a low spot kind of in the middle. You can see it better from this side. That little flat area. But I think I can get underneath it. I've set up a pretty stout platform on that one. This one is a little bit flat through this area than I like, but you know, it's all part of the learning process, guys. That's what, you know, when you're trying to learn a point style, I've been working on that on Folsoms for a long time. And just got little bit by little bit, you know, you learn something here or there. But you always try to learn something even from the failures. So just trying to look at it, you know, that way with a little bit of positivity. Dickweed, thank you for the follow. You know, it's like I've told you guys though on the morning live, you know, depending on what archaeological paper you read, they were estimating that the Folsom people were, you know, between 40. Brendan, thank you for the follow. That they had a between 40 and 60% failure rate on making the points themselves, and they literally did it for a living. So I've been pretty fortunate here lately. I've had quite a few successes, you know, or positive flutes. So I may be due for a few breaks. You guys may get to see me blow up a few bifaces Friday. But again, it's all part of the learning process. Can't be mad about that. And an old seam there. Try to get that to roll up over the top. Hey Paul, all I'm basically trying to do is just get a working edge, and basically you can see this is what's referred to as a turtleback. Now I'm not certain that this is part of the Folsom technology, but I know that the research that I've done on Clovis, this was definitely part of the way that they set up, you know, to get their convexity. And since the Folsom culture was a direct descendant of the Clovis, you know, technology, then to me it just makes the most sense to try to do it that way. You get to a working edge faster, and then all of your secondary flakes then become tools. All right, Big Wheeler, good deal. Yeah, you can definitely see the turtle on that one. It's turtly. But it's a pretty thick piece of material, you know. We're trying to make, you know, something that's, this one's not quite ready. I've got a little bit more finish flaking, and I may do some of that tonight. Triple leg, thank you for the follow. Awesome, Todd. I'm glad it's helped you. Yeah, I was thinking tonight this kind of shows my angles a little bit better. You have a piece of quartz like that? Quartz is some pretty tough material to work. Some of it is. Quartzite is really tough. Yeah, some places in this. Hey, Don. Some places in this rock are really tough. Trim that edge just a little. Had a frame there. Brendan, most of the material that I work, well, prior to, now this material here was gifted to me by a friend of mine. I don't know if he's in here tonight, but Blake got me this material. This is Texas material, but typically, well, Kenosha, that's a good question, and I would say no, it will probably work better wet. Now, if you're going to heat treat it, it has to dry out. But if you're just going to work it, you probably want to keep it hydrated. That's that Horse Creek material that I was working here a ways back that I got from Terry. That stuff, if it dries out, it gets harder to nap. So typically, now if you're, like I said, if you're going to heat treat it, you need to let it dry out, and then you need to run a drying cycle in your heat treatment, but or leave it under, you know, covered and out of the weather for months out in the sun, so that you can dry that moisture out, because the moisture will turn to steam and it'll blow your rock apart if you're heating it. But if you're working it raw, then I would say if it came from the water, keep it damper in the elements, because it'll work better that way. I've got a couple of local stone around here that are like that. When they're fresh off the lake bank or the creek bank, they work much better than they do once they dry out. Now see, I took those two flakes off that edge so that I could drop that down and get an angle, for this right here. Not to my knowledge, Kenosha. I don't know if it's some type of a granite type of rock, but from what I understand, it can't be napped. It would be cool if it would, because it's with it being reactive to black light, but unfortunately, I don't think so. But it can be shaped though. Awesome, man. That'd be great. I think that stuff would be so cool. I don't know how hard it is to find. I've seen the videos where people are out on the lakeshore with their black lights picking it up. All right, we got a little bit of a All right, now what we've got here, you can see how starting up here on the tip, it's kind of worked back, and there's that little where it starts right there. I'm going to try to get just to the side of it and drive a flake to start that series. Yeah, that would be fun. Okay, see that flake went across to here, and what it did, see how that isolated this next section? So then we're going to take a little spacer flake. a little easier to get to. That was a good flake there. See how much of that turtle that took off? Just come across the nose of that just a little. So that flake was right there. We're going to take a flake here to take this mass off of and kind of line this up to this side. Couldn't quite get a hold of that platform where I wanted to. That's not really the flake I wanted, but it'll work for right now. So what I did is I took a flake either side of a spot that was giving me some trouble so I could isolate it a little bit more, set up a little bit better platform, and then I could drive a flake that went basically from one edge to another. See where that, it went all the way to right there from this side, so. And it set up a little platform for another one right next to it. Not this one, this is a little blending flake here just to kind of keep everything clean and orderly. I don't really like how that one released, but it's not too terrible. We're just trying to get this side kind of flattened out. We're working our way down this way to try to get to this mass right here. And I think once I get an angle on this, I should be able to remove a lot of that with one big strike and then clean it up coming from this other side. That's some pretty tough rock. It is not liking, it does better when I give it a really almost harder than I'm used to hitting it, but I'm just so used to working material that's not near as tough as this. Yeah, that one stopped short on me a little bit right there. You can see how that kind of went in to that spot and wouldn't go any further. So I'll do a real downward angle here. Just trying to set a low platform on this side. Right on. Yeah, Kenosha. That's what I was going to actually study some of the. Because did you say that where was that that obsidian from that you're sending? Because I was thinking it'd be cool to make a point from the region where it was from. It's typically what I like to try to do. Hey, Pappy Swag. Well, Jimmy, I know that there's a lot of people that want to say that about the copper, but there's been very little evidence that yeah, they work copper, but to use it in the flint knapping, the evidence of that is not really out there. Mount Hood. All right, I will definitely look that up, that region, and see if I can find something that what they point style that they were making out of it. See, I was trying to get that one to go over here and clean up that other little bit of that mess, and it dove right there, but it looks like that other flake kind of dove underneath this stack a little bit. It's kind of a weird spot. So we'll see if we can set this side up to come across there, and then I'm going to do some pressure flaking. I was just trying to give my hands a break. I've got 3 preforms ready to go for Friday. But I can definitely feel it in my hands. A lot of pressure work on those point styles. Folsoms require a bunch of pressure flaking. This one's getting a little narrower than I want it to, really. May end up being a little bit smaller Folsom, but man, this is tough. Tough rock. Oh man, yeah, that's no fun, Jethro. Well, there's always time to get back into it, you know. I took about a 10-year vacation from it during a relationship where my significant other at the time did not approve of me sitting around smacking on rocks, and made it really difficult to do so, and so. Consequently, I took a pretty good break from it, but I won't do that again. It's another nice, almost edge-to-edge flake on that one. And there can't be too many hobbies that, for the bare bones, bare minimum to get started, all you need is a couple of rocks and a bone or two, and go for a walk in your local creek or yard decoration place if you want to work colored glass. There, it's definitely accessible. It's definitely like an escape for me. Not that I have anything to get away from, but it's just kind of my quiet time, you know. Yeah, that pressure, big wheel. I wouldn't think that would be very good. There's times when I have to really lean into a platform that I'm trying to get a flake to release, and when my back's hurting, that extra strain is no fun. The camps are the best. What do you mean by that, Kenosha? Oh, absolutely, Kenosha. I like sitting around in the evenings around a campfire in Flint Napping for sure. But yeah, Jethro, I started off, following my grandpa around as a kid. I don't really artifact hunt anymore. I more do, reproductions and study on the cultures, the materials and all that stuff. But I still occasionally find them when I'm out picking up material. And the thrill of finding one just never goes away, that's for darn sure. Ava Lee, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. All right, what we're going to try to do here, guys, you can see this area right here in the center of this mass. We're going to try to isolate that. Right on. Right on, Kenosha. Yeah, I love being out in... I've got a couple of places here on the property down by the spring that I love to go sit up, take a bag of tools down there and a couple pieces of rock. And just kind of get lost in the afternoon sometimes down there. We're fortunate enough, we've got over 70 acres here that we have just anywhere I want to go. Got springs on it, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, campfire stories are the good part about it, Kenosha. It's like my grandpa used to say, first liar doesn't have a chance. No, Jethro, I don't. And I know there's a lot of folks concerned. I've been, I don't condone anybody else doing it this way, but I have been typically I'm completely outdoors in the breeze, but yeah, Big Wheeler, that's my mom. We live on a little over 2.5 acres that adjoins my mom's 70. 2.5 acres that adjoins my mom's 70, and it's kind of, she's already let me know that this is my inheritance, basically. There's that flake we needed. And so we basically, we caretake the whole place and all that. So we're going to be having some events here coming up pretty soon. Going to do like a primitive camp, primitive skills kind of thing going on. Got a few of the logistics to figure out, but once that's figured, we will be doing events here at the house. So we've got a lot going on this year. We've got we're building a house. We haven't started building yet, but we're in the process of getting all the permits and all the septic stuff and all that stuff through the county. So got a pretty busy year going on. Man, there's just a layer there that just does not want to come loose. Yeah, we've got deer and turkey, bears, mountain lions, bobcats, quail, all kinds of wildlife here. Ooh, there it was, finally. I just had to get to where I could grab a hold of that platform well enough and see how chattered up and junky that was getting to be. Ooh, another one. That went a little deeper than I wanted to, but you can see how that platform was getting kind of boogered up. That was and it matched up to this other side over here. That was a pretty important flake right there, because that kind of set the tone for the rest of this. Y'all don't have pterodactyls. No pterodactyls, Peppy. They're too easy to hunt, and they went pretty quick. We got everything else, seems like. Not too far away, we got the wild hogs starting to move in. They're near a town that's about 30 to 45 minutes to the east of us, so it won't be long before we're fighting that battle. There you go. Bring your drums, yeah. Is dingo. Cletus, I have no idea what you're talking about. Pterodactyl skeeters. Yeah, Dennis, those will get you. We've got some pretty decent ones around here. Down by the lake in the evening, it gets really bad. You get into the heat of the summer. And I am here to tell you that this is really tough rock. All right, we're getting close to time to start pressure flaking or thinking about it. And I'm not sure I want to tackle this one tonight, though. This rock is substantially tougher than the other ones I've been working. Either that or my hands are just junk from the last couple of days. That may be it too. But it just feels tougher. So there's what we ended up with out of that rock. It's not too bad. I need to straighten the edge on it, but it's got pretty good, it's narrow and on the base and the tip are thin, and then got most of the mass right here. And then when you look at side to side, it's pretty close to the same thing. I've got a little bit of mass right here that needs to be removed, and we'll have to build some convexity, but definitely one that I'll start with fresh probably tomorrow. Is everybody picking on Belinda tonight? And how'd you hurt your toe, Belinda? Oh my goodness. Watch it, Pappy. She done dropped a bopper on her toe, huh? Try to get in the frame here, guys. Sorry about that. A moose billet. I just got a bunch of moose antler in here a few days ago, well, a couple days ago. Gonna make some punches out of it. All right, I'm gonna see what this. All right, Cletus. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. I mean, I know who William H. Bonney was, Billy the Kid, but any of the folklore around it, I'm not familiar with. It's just about to where I'm going to have to start making some new tools. I'm starting to wear into the marrow a little bit on this one. So it's going to have to morph into a different tool eventually. Let's see if we can get this to clean up a little bit of some of that mass right there on this side. Man, that's 2 bad flakes. Not really on my game this evening. Ouch. Yeah, those were a little bit better there. Those cleared out nice. That was 1, 2, 3 right through there. You can kind of see how those lined up and flattened that out. Thank you for the gifts and the likes and the shares and stuff, guys. I appreciate it. Those of you that aren't normal or regular viewers of my lives, this week been working on Folsom preforms, and Friday we're gonna flute a bunch of them. That one's set up to run the first flute off of. This is what I've got so far. Yeah, Boskin, I've been trying to do a Wednesday night, and every once in a while it works out, or if the internet's playing nice or my body's gonna let me, I try to do it, but I'm feeling it today. I'm probably gonna cut it short here in a little bit, but I had told everybody I was going to come on here, so I figured I better come on for a little while. Work on some more of these. I'm trying to get about a half a dozen preforms so that we can flute them all on Friday. So if percentages and odds mean anything, then I'm probably going to blow a bunch of them up, but they'll probably, because I've been getting pretty lucky here recently with some pretty decent flutes running, so I'm probably due for some epic failures. All part of the learning process with these. Try to run one off of this little lowered spot right there. Dennis, thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate it. take some pressure flaking, I'm afraid. I've got a really fine edge I'm trying to set up along here. That last flake wasn't too bad, but it kind of flattened out the center, and I don't really need that. I need to keep that convexity, so we'll try to straighten that up and set up something to get that out of there. Piece has got a little bit of concrete-y type stuff. So, a lot of this Texas material does. Right down in here you can see it, and then there's some more up here. I think that's what's causing some of that chattery stuff. Hey, Jake. Doing good, Jake. Thanks for asking. How about yourself? That was that series down that way. Just you can't really see the flake pattern very well, but there you can see it a little bit. You see how that's starting to build that convexity? Yeah, it dropped 30 degrees here today from daylight until just right at dark. It was in the low 60s, I guess, this morning, and it's supposed to get down to 31 tonight, but it was 38 right at nightfall. It dropped a lot today. Let's see here. I mean, this might be part of it. I don't have the right mojo going on out here. Yeah, it cooled off and got windy real quick, Dennis. It's been blowing like crazy here all day. Yeah, get ready, Dennis or Don. It's coming. It was beautiful here the last couple of days, and this morning started off fine, and I mean, the wind picked up and it got cold quick. All right, now this one's not as couldn't keep the hair out of your eyes. Well, sounds like you need a haircut, Dennis. Yeah, I actually have had a little bit of an issue with the beard blowing up in my face. It was, you do. Yeah, it was getting pretty windy here today. You know, we had sustained winds in the 30s or 20s and 30s, and then they said gusts up to 50 possible, and I believe a couple of them were, you know, at least in the 40s. The whole house was just popping. All right, now I've got this area. You see this chattered up area right here, and I've got this kind of sketchy, it might go, it's pretty close, but I'm going to try to kind of sneak a flake down this platform and try to get it to spread out and take all this trouble here out. Yeah, I was trying to let my mustache grow out a little bit, Jake, but it just irritates me too much, man. When I'm trying to get something to drink, or it's always getting in my mouth, or I'm biting it, or can't keep the eggs out of yours. Well, it looked like it was started to try to get some of it, but it either stopped. Yeah, that stopped short. We'll have to leave it for now till I can get a better angle on it. Yeah, dadgummit. I was hoping that would clear that out. The flake was starting to, but it just didn't have enough oomph to it. I think it is, Jake, possibly, or just, well, it's Edwards Plateau, and it came from near the Pedernales River, so it's a good assumption it could be Pedernales. It's pretty tough rock. This is all of it is raw. This is typically, it's really not as high a grade as what, you know, typically they'd have tried to make a fulsome out of, but again, it's all part of the learning process. You know, if I can get decent flakes, decent flutes on on a piece with, you know, this kind of material, then I know that when I get a hold of some really good high quality material. Yeah, Belinda, it's supposed to be 31 here tonight. We got a chance of snow. It may be flurrying right now outside. There was like a 55% chance, and I think it was supposed to be snowing. Whoo, Todd. That's cold. It's March. We're supposed to be done with that. Now that series there, I wasn't trying to go yeah, and it is. That's what I'm experiencing on some of these. That's what this one here, out of another piece of that material. Oh no, this is the one. You can see some of the concrete inclusions in there. I got one up here towards the tip that was giving me fits, but I've got it set up. There's the fluting platform, and there's the isolated ridge. We're going to try to run one down. So like I said, you know, I expect that we're going to have a few failures out of all of them, but just trying to learn something from each one, you know. This is absolutely the most challenging point style that I've ever attempted, you know, to get better at. Which one's a killer piece, Jake? Are you talking about the preform that I had? That's what these are. We're going to flute all these. It's about all I can do to keep myself from trying them, because I'm going to flute them, arrowheads. I'm going to do it on Friday morning. I'm making up a bunch of preforms, Folsom preforms, and we're going to try to flute a bunch of them Friday on the live. But if you like to, Friday morning at 8 a.m. Central Time. But if you like to see fluting stuff, check out my profile. I've got all kinds of stuff, little video clips and stuff where I've fluted stuff live on TikTok. I've done Clovis and Folsom, all with you guys watching me. Trying to decide which side I want to start setting up on the. To try to flute first. Typically you want to try to go with the first flute where you think you can get the longest flute, because obviously the next side is going to be, the flute will be that much shorter because you've got to reset up the bass. And the way this is looking right now as far as successful flute, I feel like this side will be the best if I can get this little low spot and this little trashy spot off the tip. So that's what we're going to concentrate on here. I'm going to set up we're just going to want to do one series of flakes this way, just steep down to kind of set an angle so we can get underneath this side a little bit better. One of them lovely little concrete spots I'm trying to flake through right there. Sometimes they work and sometimes they do not. We're going to set this up and do this other side here. At least this flake series, and then I'm probably going to call it an evening tonight, guys. I can feel it in my hands, and I don't want to get them too inflamed and then try to finish these up this week. So we'll do this series and I'll probably call it an evening. Plenty of that dust on there. Yeah, Dennis, these are very pressure heavy point style, and they're physically taxing on me. Wears me out. More of that lovely concrete. Flakes don't want to travel through it very well. I gotta do the puzzle piece here. Give me just a second. All right, let's see here. Right there. So ideally on this one, we're looking for a flake to go. I'd like to see it travel underneath this stack. I don't know, it's a little iffy, but we're going to use that platform right there and try to run one. Ideally, it would be all the way to this other side where it's stacked up, but realistically, if it'll just get out there and isolate that a little bit more, I think it'll come off when we flute it. So, we're going to give it a shot. There we go. And went all the way across that side and took out that little stack over here, and that's just what we were wanting on that. You can see that edge profile now is much better starting to build a nice little lens shape to it. Okay. Hey, Brizzo. I'm just telling everybody, I'm getting ready to get off here. My hands are really barking at me, so I don't want to get so inflamed that I can't do anything with them. Whoop. All right, I think that'll work for that side. Probably come back and work this other side tomorrow and kind of see how we've got. This is the side I just worked, and you see that. Let's see if I can get it up here where you can see how that comes in real nice, and this side is still, well, I can get it over there. Got a little bit of mass right in here. We need to remove just a few little items, and then it'll be ready to set up to flute that one too. Once I get that one set up, that'll be 4. So if I can get 2 or 3 more, then that'll be probably enough for us to flute on Friday. We'll just set them up, do the first flute on them one right after another, and then set up as many of them as we can and see if we can get the second flute on them. So, all right, guys. Well, I think I am going to get off here. Thank you for coming in and hanging out for a little bit. I'll be back on in the morning at 8 a.m. So if you get a chance, stop by and say hi. Have a cup of coffee with a caveman. You guys have a good evening. And take care of yourselves. Keep chipping.